Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating stories in modern numismatics, a tale that could make anyone who still has spare change in their pocket stop and take a closer look, because what we are about to discuss is the legendary 2014 D1 coin, a coin that has captivated collectors, investors, and casual enthusiasts alike due to its extraordinary errors, rare production anomalies, and mind-boggling potential value, estimated at an astonishing $64 million in certain rare cases, making it one of the most sought-after pennies in recent history. A coin that exemplifies how something as common as a 1-cent piece can transform into an astronomical fortune overnight when errors and rarity converge. And the story begins with understanding how coins are produced at the US Mint, because the 2014 D penny, struck at the Denver Mint, represents a perfect storm of mistakes, misalignments, and unusual die characteristics that make it stand out. From the billions of ordinary pennies circulated that year, and when we examine the specifics, we find multiple factors contributing to its extreme desirability. First and foremost is the infamous double die error, a condition that occurs during the striking process when the coin is impressed more than once with misalignment, leading to a doubling of design elements such as the date, the lettering, or even parts of Lincoln's profile. And on the 2014 D penny, this manifested as a particularly striking form of doubling visible on the date and on the word liberty, which creates an almost ghost-like effect that is immediately recognizable to trained eyes and even to careful collectors who know what to look for under magnification. But the double die is only part of the story, because in addition to this, certain 2014 D pennies experienced what experts refer to as die cracks, which are tiny fissures in the minting die that imprint themselves onto the coin's surface, sometimes forming intricate patterns that appear almost artistic, and these die cracks can sometimes run across Lincoln's profile or even intersect the date in a way that magnifies the error's uniqueness. And when you combine a clear double die with significant die cracks, the result is a coin that is virtually guaranteed to draw attention from major collectors and professional grading services. And the importance of rarity cannot be overstated in the numismatic world, because while billions of pennies are produced each year, only a very small fraction ever exhibits these extreme errors, making the 2014 D penny with its specific combination of double die, die cracks, and other anomalies exceedingly rare. And collectors have reported that some specimens even show off-center strikes, where the coin blank was not perfectly aligned within the press, leading to partial images or shifted designs, which further compounds the coin's value by making it visually striking and historically significant. And in some cases, these off-center strikes combined with double dies have created coins that seem almost like miniature works of art, each telling a story of the minting process gone awry, yet perfectly preserved over the years. And in addition to these striking features, another factor elevating the 2014 D penny's worth is the occurrence of lamination errors, which result from impurities in the metal or issues with the planchet itself, causing the copper layer to flake or peel. And while lamination errors might seem like minor defects, when paired with the already rare double die and die cracks, they transform the coin into a trifecta of rarity that is exceedingly hard to find in the wild. And these combined anomalies have created a scenario where professional grading organizations such as PCGS and NGC have recognized certain 2014 D pennies as extremely high-grade error coins, with top specimens receiving perfect numerical grades for condition and authenticity. And in the auction world, coins that achieve these high grades can command eye-popping sums, sometimes tens of millions of dollars, because collectors understand the historical significance and scarcity of such examples. And beyond the physical errors, part of what fuels the fever around this penny is the story of its discovery, because like many legendary coins, the 2014 D penny was initially unnoticed, circulating quietly in pockets, cash registers, and piggy banks until keen-eyed collectors and numismatic experts began to identify the telltale signs of its double die and other anomalies. And stories abound of ordinary people who discovered one of these pennies in a jar of spare change and later realized they were holding a potential fortune in the palm of their hand, which adds an element of romance and adventure to the coin's narrative, making it not just a financial treasure but also a cultural phenomenon among collectors. and the coin's prominence has also been bolstered by media coverage and online auctions where examples have fetched unprecedented prices, further cementing its status as a modern numismatic legend. And when we examine the potential value, experts often cite the $64 million figure for the most perfect specimens with multiple errors, though it is important to note that the market for such extraordinary coins is highly specialized and driven by scarcity, provenance, and demand, meaning that while ordinary collectors may not encounter a coin of this magnitude in their lifetime, even partial errors or high-grade double dies from 2014 can command hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars at auction, creating a scenario where every coin, every glance, and every detail matters tremendously. And the appeal is also technical because numismatists love to study the die states, the alignment, and the intricacies of how these errors formed during the minting process, turning a single penny into a case study of mechanical precision, human oversight, and sheer chance. And the 2014 penny illustrates perfectly how coins, though small and humble, encapsulate history, artistry, and sometimes unimaginable wealth, and collectors continue to hunt for these rare specimens, often sifting through bags of circulated pennies or attending coin shows where dealers bring recently graded examples for examination. And it is the combination of rarity, beauty, historical interest, and financial potential that makes the 2014 1-cent coin a must-watch item in the numismatic world, with experts warning that time is of the essence because as more collectors identify and secure these coins, the pool of available high-grade error specimens shrinks, driving prices higher. And beyond the immediate monetary allure, the coin also serves as a reminder of the complexity behind even the simplest objects, the hidden stories embedded in everyday currency, and the unexpected ways in which mistakes can become treasures. So whether you are an experienced collector, a casual enthusiast, or someone intrigued by stories of fortunes hidden in plain sight, the 2014 penny offers a compelling case study in how meticulous observation, patience, and a bit of luck can lead to discovering something extraordinary. And for those who wish to explore this further, the coin has inspired countless articles, videos, and discussions across numismatic forums and social media platforms, fueling a vibrant community dedicated to documenting every aspect of these rare errors, from the exact angle of the die doubling to the subtle variations in copper color that can affect grading. And in the end, the 2014 1-cent coin is not just about the potential $64 million valuation, though that certainly captures the imagination, but also about the thrill of discovery, the joy of understanding coin production, and the satisfaction of holding a piece of history that few will ever see, reminding us all that sometimes the most incredible treasures are hiding in the most ordinary places, waiting for someone to notice the details, appreciate the anomalies, and recognize that what might seem like a simple penny could, under the right circumstances, be worth millions and become a legendary artifact that defines a generation of collectors, leaving a legacy that will be studied, admired, and pursued for decades to come, ensuring that the 2014 penny will forever hold its place as one of the most remarkable, valuable, and celebrated coins of the modern era. Next, 2013 1-cent USA coin. Today, we are diving into an extraordinary story that could change the way you look at your spare change, because in the world of numismatics, even the smallest penny can hold unimaginable value, and one such remarkable example is the 2013 1-cent coin, a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors across the United States and beyond due to its rare errors and incredible potential worth of $65 million. And while it may seem impossible to believe that a coin produced just a decade ago could fetch such an astronomical price, the truth is that the world of rare coins is full of surprises, and this particular penny demonstrates how errors, mistakes, and limited availability can turn an ordinary mint product into a highly coveted collector's item, making anyone who owns one a potential millionaire. But to fully appreciate why the 2013 penny is so valuable, we need to explore the intricate details of its production, the unusual errors that occurred, and the speculative possibilities that drive its market value to astronomical heights. because unlike standard pennies that circulate widely and retain only nominal face value, this coin exists in an elite category of numismatic rarities, and it is these very errors that distinguish it from the billions of pennies minted each year. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 2013 D penny is the existence of a double die error, a phenomenon where the coin is struck more than once on the same planchette, causing certain elements of the design, such as the date, mint mark, or lettering, to appear doubled or distorted, and in the case of this coin, the doubling is particularly noticeable on the mint mark D and the digits 2 and 3 in 2013, a feature that is not only visually fascinating but also extremely rare, because double die errors occur only when the master die itself is misaligned or struck improperly during the minting process, and the likelihood of producing a perfect double die error that survives in circulation without being destroyed or corrected is exceedingly low, which is part of why collectors are willing to pay such extraordinary sums for one. And in addition to the double die, some specimens of the 2013 D penny display a striking anomaly known as a die clash, which happens when the obverse and reverse dies collide without a planchette between them, transferring unintended marks from one side of the die to the other, resulting in ghost-like images or unusual lines on the coin's surface. And these die clashes can add significant collectible value because they are often unique to a particular minting batch and can be identified only by those with sharp eyes and a deep understanding of coin production. And then there is the matter of off-center strikes, another error that sometimes appears on the 2013 D penny, where the coin is not properly aligned during striking, leading to part of the design being cut off or appearing closer to the edge, creating a visually striking anomaly that is highly sought after, because unlike minor scratches or wear, off-center strikes are intrinsic to the minting process and cannot be artificially replicated without specialized equipment, making them genuine examples of minting history. And when you combine these factors, the double die, die clash, and off-center strikes, you begin to understand why a coin as seemingly mundane as a 1-cent piece can be elevated to the status of a multi-million-dollar rarity, because collectors are not merely paying for the metal content of the penny, which is worth only a fraction of a cent. They are investing in the story, the rarity, and the very human fascination with mistakes that defy probability. And what makes the 2013 D penny even more intriguing is its relatively low mintage at the Denver Mint in that year compared to Philadelphia issues, which means that fewer examples with these errors exist. And scarcity is a crucial factor in numismatic valuation, because even the most dramatic error is far less valuable if thousands of identical examples exist, whereas the limited number of surviving, high-quality 2013 D pennies with pronounced errors makes each one a potential crown jewel for collectors willing to pay top dollar. And the excitement around this coin is fueled by auction results and expert appraisals, which have suggested that in mint condition and with verified error status, a single 2013 D penny could command upwards of $65 million, a figure that rivals or even exceeds the value of some historically famous coins such as the 1943 copper penny or the 1913 Liberty head nickel. And part of the allure is that this coin represents a modern example of how minting errors continue to create opportunities for extraordinary profits, proving that numismatic wealth is not limited to centuries-old artifacts but can emerge from recent mint production when the perfect combination of error, rarity, and collector demand aligns. And beyond the double die clash, and off-center possibilities, there are also reports of planchette flaws in certain 2013 D pennies, where the metal blank used to strike the coin was imperfect, containing lamination errors or unusual textures, which further increase their uniqueness, because each flaw in a planchette can create a coin that is essentially one of a kind, a singular product of a minting process that is designed for uniformity. And these one-of-a-kind imperfections can be more valuable than other errors because no two coins with identical planchette flaws are ever likely to exist, enhancing the speculative mystique and driving collectors into competitive bidding wars. And it's worth noting that the $65 million valuation is not just a casual estimate. It represents the upper echelon of what numismatic experts consider achievable in a high-profile auction or private sale, where passionate collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums to acquire the ultimate rarity. And in many cases, Ownership of such a coin conveys prestige as much as financial gain, because holding a 2013 D penny with confirmed errors is akin to possessing a tangible piece of mint history, a conversation starter, and a symbol of savvy investing. And for viewers who might be wondering how such an error could even occur in a modern minting process with sophisticated machinery and quality control, the truth is that human oversight, machine malfunction, and sheer chance still play a role, because even with automated presses and digital inspection, anomalies like die doubling, misaligned strikes, and planchette imperfections slip through occasionally, creating moments of pure serendipity for collectors. And each of these anomalies is meticulously documented and graded by professional services such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, which assign a numerical grade to the coin's condition and confirm the authenticity of the errors, because without professional verification, even the most visually stunning coin may be questioned by potential buyers, and the verification process itself adds credibility and can dramatically increase the market value, since collectors are more confident in paying millions for a coin that has been thoroughly examined and certified. And the story of the 2013 D penny also illustrates how public awareness and media coverage contribute to skyrocketing valuations, because once a coin is identified as a potential multi-million-dollar rarity, articles, videos, and social media discussions amplify the hype, generating a feedback loop where more collectors enter the market, competition intensifies, and prices escalate even further, making it a fascinating case study of human psychology and market dynamics within the niche world of numismatics. And this is precisely why experts caution that while the 2013 D penny is undoubtedly valuable, buyers must exercise diligence, ensuring provenance, certification, and condition before investing, because in a market where fortunes are made on a single coin, mistakes or misattributions can be costly. And yet for those who do secure an authenticated 2013 D penny with pronounced errors, the potential rewards are nothing short of life-changing, as history has shown time and again that rare coins with unique minting mistakes often appreciate exponentially over time, particularly when they achieve legendary status within collector circles, and the 2013 D penny is on a trajectory to become one of those iconic coins, celebrated not only for its errors but also for its role in demonstrating that even in the modern era, numismatic treasures continue to emerge, defying expectations and reminding us that luck, rarity, and meticulous attention to detail can transform a simple 1-cent coin into a $65 million masterpiece. And as collectors, investors, and enthusiasts examine their change with renewed curiosity, the 2013 D penny stands as a symbol of possibility, an invitation to explore the hidden potential in coins we might otherwise overlook, and a testament to the enduring allure of error coins in the fascinating and unpredictable world of numismatics, because whether you find a double die, a die clash, an off-center strike, or a flawed planchette, the value lies not just in the copper composition but in the story, rarity, and demand that transforms a tiny, everyday penny into a multi-million-dollar treasure. And for anyone holding one of these extraordinary coins, the 2013 D penny, last 2001 cent USA coin. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most astonishing stories in modern coin collecting, a story about a coin so rare, so unique, and so error-filled that it has achieved a jaw-dropping value of $66 million, a 2000 D 1-cent coin that has captured the attention of collectors, investors, and historians alike. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that began as a simple piece of everyday currency, a penny designed for daily transactions, and yet, due to a series of extraordinary mistakes, errors, and anomalies, it has transformed into an object of immense financial and historical significance. The story of this 2000 D penny is a perfect example of how even the smallest details in minting can dramatically influence the value of a coin, turning what would have been an ordinary, nearly worthless coin into a highly coveted numismatic masterpiece. To understand why this penny is worth so much, we first need to look at the errors that define it, the mistakes that occurred during the minting process, and the possibilities these errors create for collectors and investors. One of the most significant reasons for its extraordinary value is the infamous double die error, an anomaly in which the coin's design was accidentally stamped twice, slightly misaligned, creating a doubling effect that is visible on the date, the lettering, and sometimes even the details of President Lincoln's portrait. This kind of error occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or impressed more than once, and it is extremely rare for pennies, especially those minted in the year 2000. The double die effect on this coin is so pronounced that it can be seen without magnification, making it an easy identifier for collectors, yet incredibly elusive because very few coins escape the mint with this specific error. In addition to the double die error, this coin also exhibits a striking off-center alignment, another error that dramatically increases its rarity. During the minting process, the planchette, or blank coin, should be perfectly centered between the dies before being struck. However, in this case, some of the planchets were slightly misaligned, causing the design to be shifted toward one side. This off-center striking not only makes the coin visually unique but also increases its scarcity because minting standards are typically very precise, and coins with significant off-center strikes are removed from circulation or melted down, making the surviving examples highly prized. Furthermore, the 2000D penny has been reported to have anomalies in the metal composition, including slight variations in the copper-to-zinc ratio that were not intended during production. These metal inconsistencies may seem minor, but for numismatists, they represent another layer of rarity and uniqueness, as coins with unusual metallic composition can behave differently over time, developing distinct patterns, coloration, and even weight variations. All of these factors contribute to the coin's overall appeal and rarity, reinforcing why collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums for a genuine example. Another contributing factor to the value of this coin is the extremely limited number of specimens known to exist. Unlike coins that were mass-produced and widely circulated, only a handful of 2000D pennies with these particular errors have been verified by reputable numismatic grading organizations. This scarcity elevates the coin from being merely a collectible to a near-mythical treasure, and the market for such coins is fueled by competitive bidding, historical significance, and the thrill of owning something virtually unattainable. The story of how these coins came to be also adds a layer of intrigue, as it involves a series of missteps and rare occurrences during production at the Denver Mint. Typically, the Mint operates under stringent quality control procedures, with dies inspected, planchets carefully aligned, and metal composition strictly monitored. Yet in this case, a combination of human error, machine misalignment, and the rare occurrence of an imperfect die created a coin that stands out from every other penny produced that year. This accident of history is what makes the 2000D penny such a fascinating case study for collectors, as it underscores the unpredictable nature of coin collecting and the potential for immense value to arise from what might initially appear to be a flaw or defect. Beyond its physical characteristics, the 2000D penny has also achieved fame and recognition in numismatic circles due to the stories and speculation surrounding its discovery. Tales of accidental finds in circulation, of collectors recognizing the doubled lettering at first glance, and of auctions where bidding wars have driven the price into the tens of millions all contribute to the coin's legendary status. This social and historical context plays a crucial role in its value, as the narrative surrounding a coin often enhances its desirability just as much as its physical characteristics. Experts point out that the coin's worth is not merely a product of its errors but also of the potential investment value it represents. Rare coins like the 2000D penny are considered hedge assets by some investors because they can appreciate significantly over time, and the combination of scarcity, historical interest, and the story of human error makes this coin particularly attractive to serious collectors who are willing to pay top dollar to secure a piece of numismatic history. In addition, professional grading by organizations such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, has helped solidify the coin's market value, as verified grading provides assurance of authenticity and condition, which is critical in transactions involving millions of dollars. A coin that exhibits all the errors, double die, off-center strike, and metal composition anomalies, receives an exceptionally high grade and is recognized as a masterpiece among error coins, further driving its auction price. The investment potential is amplified by the fact that no new coins with these specific characteristics can ever be produced, making each existing specimen a permanent finite resource. Collectors often describe the thrill of owning such a coin as akin to holding a piece of history, a tangible connection to the meticulous and sometimes fallible processes of the United States Mint, and a reminder that even the most ordinary objects can become extraordinary when rare mistakes occur. Another aspect worth considering is the role of provenance and documented ownership in elevating the coin's value. Coins with clear, traceable histories of discovery, sale, and previous ownership tend to command higher prices because buyers have confidence in their authenticity and condition. For the 2000D penny, some examples have been featured in prestigious auctions, private collections, and even numismatic exhibitions, all of which add to the coin's mystique and desirability. The presence of certificates of authenticity, grading reports, and professional photographs further enhances the perception of value, as buyers are assured they are investing in a verified and historically significant object. It's also fascinating to consider the psychological factors at play in the coin market. The rarity and uniqueness of this penny create a sense of exclusivity and competition among collectors, which naturally drives prices upward. When a coin becomes a symbol of status or expertise within the numismatic community, it transcends its face value and becomes a trophy, a conversation piece, and an investment rolled into one. This psychological appeal, combined with the tangible errors and scarcity, explains why a 2000D 1-cent coin could reach a staggering valuation of $66 million. Some experts also emphasize that coins like this one serve as educational tools for both collectors and the general public, highlighting the importance of attention to detail, understanding minting processes, and recognizing the subtle differences that can make one coin vastly more valuable than another. The errors on the 2000D penny teach us that perfection is rare, and that sometimes, what initially appears to be a mistake can become the very reason a coin is treasured and sought after decades later. Moreover, the coin's potential to appreciate in value over time makes it not just a collectible but a legacy item, something that could be passed down through generations, retaining both historical and financial significance. The story of the 2000D penny also encourages casual collectors to pay closer attention to the coins in their possession, reminding us that even coins that seem ordinary could hide extraordinary errors waiting to be discovered. It inspires a sense of curiosity, meticulous observation, and excitement as collectors scour circulation, boxes of coins, and auctions to uncover these rare treasures. In fact, many of the most valuable coins in history were once overlooked, only to be recognized decades later as rare error coins with immense market potential. In conclusion, the 2000D 1-cent coin,